The lady that came on and she was talking about this skin thing, I actually had a mild issue as well. I had very similar symptoms that she did. The migraine, this kind of intestinal, not stomach, but intestinal gas and mild diarrhea.
Sure, sure.
And then today I noticed that on one arm I had some eczema patches, dry skin patches that just can't heal. And I actually put some on one of them. Today I noticed is interesting. They had scaled out a little bit more and almost like they were starting to heal.
Yep.
I was kind of picking away at the dead skin, the extra skin, just to expose newer, fresher skin underneath. So I'm going to monitor it, but that was kind of interesting today because I was like, what? And it almost felt like it was a little bit worse, but, it's fine. The other thing was I have an old back injury. And after I had the mild intestinal thing, lower intestine, I had a pretty severe slip disc, lower back about 9 years ago.
Yep.
I mean, it was really, really bad. I didn't go to the hospital. Matter of fact, I took dexamethasone, which is another thing they prescribe for people with COVID. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory. It's the only thing I've been able to use in the past that has really helped me with really severe headaches, really severe back injury. When I threw out my back and it spasmed and I slipped the disc, I couldn't get off the floor. It was that bad.
Yeah.
I took the dexamethasone, waited 15 minutes. I popped my back in because I know how to do it. I know how to crack my back. And I popped my back into alignment, and then I was able to crawl into my bed.
Yeah.
But then I was out of work for like 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, it was scary. I know this is a little bit off topic.
It's still under the inflammation topic, so you're good.
Well, the reason I mentioned this is because then all of a sudden it flared up again the last couple of days, and it could maybe related to the lower intestine thing. I don't know. I was just like, what? And I didn't lift anything. I thought, why would this? I did bend over and do this thing. So anyway, I did notice that. And then the day it's gone completely. I mean, I was stretching out a little bit. So it might even help that. I'll keep you posted on that too.
Well, it takes away the inflammation that's going to be in your vertebrae. That's going to be pinching.
I mean,
I know that for a fact.
Well, I think I told you, I'm really on a half dose right now. One notch a day. But I'm going to up it to 2. Because, like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm feeling some stuff. The reason I started slow is because I'm a little hypersensitive to medicines.
Sure.
Like originally, the reason I was prescribed dexamethasone the very first time, I lost my eyesight for 3 days. I went blind. Okay. And it was from this detox program thing I'd been on. And I could taste the shit coming out. And anyway, long story short, I had this massive inflammation. It was so severe, and nobody would do anything. They wanted to stick me in the back with a freaking needle. Spinal tap.
Yeah.
So I get the dexamethasone. I took basically a half dose, and within less than 24 hours, I could see again. I started to see. So I was half dosing it from what they gave me, and then I finally recovered my eyesight. But the inflammation it actually caused my eye to disfigure, that distortion on the lens. I was nearsighted, but I had the thing where your eyeball it's out of round.
Not astigmatism.
There's astigmatism. So anyway. I finally got a glass of all this stuff. Anyway, that was 20 years ago. So who knows if there's an issue in my optic nerve or in that area still, possibly from all these things that have happened to me. So if this helps with inflammation, I'm all for it, man. Either way.
It'll get parasites off your optic nerves too. So that's the other good thing. It'll get the parasites out of your brain. It'll get the parasites off your optic nerve, and then you'll be able to start healing. So that's exactly what it's doing. I wouldn't be concerned whatsoever.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to double dose. I'll check back. Thanks again for letting me speak. I will keep you posted.
Yeah, it's funny when you just rely on the news for something like that, but when you actually talk to somebody who is boots on the ground, it's absolutely just crazy. And that's the good thing about this. You never know who's listening. You never know what anybody does. So you could be saying something and you think you're correct, and then all of a sudden somebody comes in like, hey, listen, this isn't the way it is. I'm a generational farmer, and you guys have it all wrong. Stop watching the news. Planted the seed.
Yeah, and at this point, I don't trust any doctors now. I mean, that incident with my eyes, I saw 4 different doctors before I got prescribed the dexamethasone.
Yeah.
And by the way, it was the 4th guy. I was almost homicidal at that point. I knew my friend is a surgeon's assistant for people with ear, nose, and throat plastic surgery. Yep. I call her up and I say, what do you give people after they've had surgery on the head? And she said, oh, dexamethasone. Boom. She told me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that's what I need. They didn't give me anything, by the way. When I went to these four different doctors, they
Yeah.
just said spinal tap, spinal tap. Well, you got to
Yeah.
be kidding me. They
Right.
didn't give me nothing, not
Yeah.
ibuprofen. They didn't take my blood pressure. They didn't take my temperature. They didn't do a blood test.
No.
Straight to my back with a big fat needle is what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was pissed. I was pretty furious. Anyway, pardon me for getting upset there, but after
No.
that episode, I was like, oh my God, I had completely lost faith in those doctors at that particular point.
Yeah.
That type of doctor. And guess what? The prescription cost $13.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's why they don't want to give it to you.
Okay. I was dumbfounded. I know this is a little off topic, but if anybody's out there listening and you ever get a severe back injury, it's also for the spine, any back injury or head injury, anything around the head or the spine. It specifically seems to work. It reduces inflammation systemically, but really for those kind of things, it's really fast, you know. So
Good.
just keep that in your pipe. That's why they use it for this COVID thing because, the inflammation in the lungs, it's just kind of a similar thing.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
It's good stuff. Well,
thanks for
thank
letting
you
me
very
share.
much for coming on.
You bet. You bet.
Danny, may I say something?
Go right ahead.
I forgot to tell people my other side effect that maybe somebody will be having it and maybe will be afraid. So with that rosacea or whatever it is on my face, maybe not rosacea, maybe it's shingles, who knows, whatever it is, I also got pink eyes. So both eyes, my white eyeballs usually are now pink color. No
Sure.
pain, no itching in the eyes, nothing bothering with the eyes, just the color.
Yeah.
So if people see they have a pink eyes, don't be afraid. That's what I want to say, because I believe it's kind of goes associating with all the things on my face.
Well, thank you for saying that, because any little bit helps. Everybody's different. That's all I can say. You have it one way. The guy before you had it another way. The guy before you had it another way. And the lady before him had it another way. All of this information is to educate us all.
Right. You're listing the Herxing on your side. When you're saying, oh, it's a gastrointestinal, it will be burning skin, it will be this and that. But a lot of things is a skin, and that need to be mentioned that it's a skin can be like manifest in all sorts of skin things. So people don't like, oh my God, what's going on,
Right.
It's not
so
just
your
a
skin,
rash.
your
It's
skin
not
is just
exactly
an organ. Right. It's just a little bit of a flare up. And it's because your skin is the epidermis. It's your largest organ. And not a lot of people like you, I've said it before, you are a rarity, but you have been sick from 5 years old to 58. And it was bound to come out of you because you took an awful lot in the first several weeks because you were complaining you weren't herxing. So all of a sudden you kind of had that snowball effect. And I haven't had anybody really get as bad of a reaction that you did, but it's definitely worth, if one person gets that reaction, it's worth mentioning. So I will absolutely, the list of the Herxing things, which are not harmful, they're inconvenient, but they're not hurting you. I would say that list has gotten a little bit bigger. So I will mention it for sure.
I've been on the ivermectin with my wife about 3 weeks. I'm noticing it's cutting down my sugar craving. Now, I'm wondering, is that something you've encountered?
I actually did. I quit sugar and carbs. It was the easiest way to do it. I lost 100 pounds. They were telling me that I was sick because I was so heavy. And I started on the Equimax, and I just took advantage of it. I didn't feel like sugar at all. So I stopped sugar, I stopped carbs, and I dropped 47 pounds in the first month with an IV in my heart with 120 pills a day. I was dropping weight like a fiend. It's a common thing when your body starts to properly operate, you don't have those cravings. How exactly? I cannot explain it. Does it happen? 100% yes. People won't even notice it. That's good that you noticed that. It's hard. Next one, we're going to do testimonies just to give people more ideas of the Herxing and what exactly is going on with everybody. I think it's time we do another one of those shows.
Hey, Danny, one sec before you go. So you suggest the Eczema.
Yeah.
Can you just let people know overseas, I'm in Australia, I bought exactly the same one as you were using, but it had had ivermectin instead of ivermectin. So we've got to make sure about that.
Right. Yeah. Yours wasn't ivermectin. It was avermectin, AVER, correct? Right?
I think it was ivermectin. I would have to just check. I'm just outside at the moment, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember it wasn't. There is another brand. I just know to tell people that ivermectin 1.87%. And I know that yours had a different bit of a spelling. And I know that your packaging was like a pink and it was an oval sort of a dispenser instead of the round, white or whatever that we're used to over here
Yeah,
on this.
it was ivermectin. I'm just looking at the picture I sent to you.
Yeah, send that to me and I'll get that up so everybody can see the difference. We can put the information out there, but people still need to read and just remember that. So I'll make up a list and I'll get that posted. So thanks for bringing that up.